I'm Skylar. Welcome to our first podcast where we talk about car companies A through Z. And today for our first podcast, we're going to talk about AC.
I'm Philip, and this is the AC Cobra. Welcome to Gearheads.
In 1901, the Weller brothers set up their company as engineers, repairers, and manufacturers of motor cars and motorcycles in West Norwood, London. John Weller was an engineer and a prolific inventor. The business grew as Fast and Weller Bros. Was appointed official repairs for the Automobile Club.
In 1902, John Portwine, a local butcher, becomes a shareholder in the newly formed Weller Bros. Ltd. Traditional finance allows the company to move forward and for some of John Weller's inventions to bear fruit.
In 1903, John Weller presents his first car, the 20-horsepower Weller Touring car, at the Crystal Palace Motor Show. John Portwine convinces him to design a compact three-wheeled commercial delivery vehicle.
In 1904, the year of the launch of the 20-horsepower touring car, another of John Weller's inventions was to appear. It was decided to go into production of a three-wheel commercial delivery vehicle. This was to be called the Auto Carrier, from which AC was later derived. In 1904, the company name changed to Auto Car and Accessories Ltd.
In 1907, the success of auto careers leads to the design of passenger vehicles based on the same design theme, the AC passenger machine, better known as the Sociable. It has an additional seats in place of the auto carrier's cargo box and is also successful, remaining its production until 1915. Big jump right there.
Then in 1911, the company moves from West Norwood to Ferry Works in Thames Ditton, where it would stay for over 70 years.
Then in 1913, Auto Careers Ltd. began manufacturing its first four-wheeled car, the 10-horsepower AC light car, but production is interrupted by outbreak of the First World War.
Then in 1919, the company reputation for quality, reliability, and maneuverability of vehicles leads to the 25th London Cyclist Regiment, being equipped with modified auto carriers with mounted maximum units. And other adapted as ammunition carriers, the War Office asked the Weller brothers to design and produce a prototype light armored car using the AC light car chassis.
Kind of looks like a tank, wouldn't you say? 1911, I believe, they said that they made the first four-wheel car. Oh no, it was 1913, sorry. And then in 1919, they used that car to make pretty much a war car in 1919. And it's really cool. So then we're moving on to 1920. John Weller designs a new 6-cylinder 2-liter engine, the Light 6, with an initial capacity of 1,477 cc's. It's 40 horsepower that was later increased to 1,991 cc's with 105 horsepower.
Then in 1921, racing driver Slow F. Edge buys the shares in the company and is appointed governor director in 1921. Weller and Portwine resign within the year, and the AC Cars Ltd. is formed. In 1922, Edge eventually puts Weller's Light 6 engine into production. The engine, ahead of its time, and remains in production until 1963. Its patent spring slipper chain tensor has since been used by many other manufacturers.
So they made money and other profits besides making their own vehicles by using their spring chain tensor, and they're using other manufacturers are also using that. So it's pretty cool to see that they were not just a car company, but they also were a helper design. So then in 1922, driven by Mr. Joyce and Brooklyn Circuit on 1st December 1922, a car with a 4-cylinder version of the Light 6 engine becomes the first 1,500cc car to overcome 100 miles an hour in the first hour, with an average speed of 101.39 miles an hour and a fastest lap of 104.85 miles an hour. Shattered another 4 records along the way of flying half a mile, 16.66, 108, miles an hour, 2 miles, 108.4 miles an hour, and 5 miles, 104.16 miles an hour, and then 10 miles at 103.79 miles an hour. Really fast for that time.
In 1925, engaged in several car competitions, AC cars leave a mark in the world of motor racing. A historical photo shows the trophies won by AC cars in 1925 season. There are over 40 trophies in this picture.
Very, very cool. Yeah, it's a lot of trophies. In our small town, we wish we could have as many trophies just in our school. That's a lot of trophies right there, just in 1 year.
Yeah.
Then in 1926, the Han Victor Bruce became the first UK winner of the Monte Carlo Rally and the Monte dels Mules Hill Climb. The following years, his wife Mildred Bruce borrowed an AC6 from Selwyn Edge and finished the rally 6th out of 66 entrants, starting from John O'Groats and driving 1,700 miles without sleeping. Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's a long ways.
In 1930, the international recession takes its toll, and in 1930, AC is forced into liquidation. William and Charles Murlock, successful car and truck dealers in South London, buy AC for its factory and profitable servicing business with no intention to manufacture cars until William Murlock wants a new car and he uses available parts in store to build his own.
Wow. So then we're jumping up to 1933. And then AC is back at the London Motor Show with 5 cars in the stand. The following years would see many different body styles. All were the epitome of the elegance of the 30s. But the Second World War again required the factory to be transformed for the manufacturing of firefighting equipment, aircraft parts, rotor vans, flamethrowers, guns, and sight.
Then 1949, after World War II, the company only survived due to diversification. This included the manufacturers of golf trolleys called Bag Boys, and most notably, and surprising, the success in manufacturing the electric trains used to carry holidaymakers along the pier at Southend-on-Sea. All 34 carriages were entirely built by AC. These trains would run up until the late 70s. One of the 5 rail cars from AC is currently on display at the Colne Valley Rail Museum.
I thought they were a car company, not a train company.
Yeah.
But anyways, in 1953, we see little hints of the Cobra. The Ace is launched. It's a revolutionary car for its time, both its terms of styling and 3 tubular ladder chassis, designed in quick gains for the respectable enthusiast as a private owner could race on the weekends and still use it for the everyday motoring.
In 1954, a coupe version of the Ace is launched at the London Motor Show in 1954. The Ace Achaia, which is a coupe version of the Ace.
So then we jump over to 1957. Again, diversity raised its heads, and it's now 1957 that sought successful negotiation of another manufacturing contract, this time with the government to produce the Invasor. Over 1,200 were produced and were a common sight of the road for many years. This era also saw the manufacturing of the 3 and 4-wheeled Petite.
It looks like the Reliant Robin that Jeremy Clarkson crashed.
It's a little machine right there.
Then 1962, by the early 1960s, Ford is trying to find a car that can beat the Corvette and develops a new lightweight V8 engine for that purpose. In 1961, Carroll Shelby, having noticed the racing success of the AC Ace from 1957, negotiates with AC Cars the design and manufacture of a vehicle to be powered by the new engine. Shelby and AC Cars shoehorn a 4.2-liter V8 engine into the Ace. The AC Cobra is born. Commencing 20th In June 1963, AC Cars manufactures approximately 1,000 cars and ships them to the U.S., where the engines are fitted. A number of cars are built with similar specifications of the European market. The Cobra is an instant success. AC Cars produced all the chassis in the UK until the end of the collaboration with its American partner in 1968, then would continue to make the original Cobra on its own to this day.
Then in 1963, sponsored by the Sunday Times and managed by Sterling Moss, AC built 2 bespoke AC Cobras for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It was the first time the AC Cobra would complete its famous French endurance race. If you haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari, that's the racetrack where this Cobra was racing at. They built 2 of them, and looks to be that they're one of the first 2 Cobras that were there back in 1963. Once was entered by AC Cars itself, when drivers Neon Sanders and Peter Bolton behind the wheel, while the other came from Edge Hughes, who had run the Cars race, developed in America, sharing the drive with Brett Peter Job. The cars competed with the fact the MK2 version of the car fitted with a larger 4.7 liter, 209 cubic inch engine. That meant that it was better suited to challenges of the fast El Saints circuit, or Lazarus circuit, To also help outpace rivals, the AC factory in famous Dilton, England, introduced some distinctive features, including streamlined aluminum hardtops roofs to improve aerodynamics and increase the top speed along the famous Muslim Strait. This race started well for both cars, but they were moments away from high drama around the 4.5 hours into the race. An oil slick left by damage of an Aston Martin caused Sanders a series of spins, but luckily he hit nothing and was able to carry on the race. His sister was not so lucky on the other hand. An engine trouble 10 hours, it meant that Hughes and Jupe had to retire early. Despite the strong competition from the Far Exposition race team, AC Cars triumphed, and the AC Cobra of the British duo Neon Sanders and Peter Bolton finished the first in his class over 7th overall. For this race, the AC Cobra proved as a tough customer, covering 2,592 miles at an average speed of 108 miles an hour and touching 160 miles an hour at the Muslim Strait. Also managed to finish some 27 laps ahead of his nearest rival in its class. Here started the legend of the AC Cobra, a force to be reckoned with on the racetrack.
Then in 1964, after finishing 7th in Le Mans in 1963, the Cobra continues to improve from the original Mark 1 to 60 4.2 liter through the 289 4.6 liter up to the impressive and legendary 427 SC. Street competition with its larger 4-diameter chassis tube to handle with the immersed torque of the 7-liter V8 engine which produced over 500 horsepower. At the time, the Guinness Book of Records lists the 427 AC Cobra as the fastest production car in the world, a title it would hold for many years.
This Cobra in 1964 that's shown on the picture kind of looks similar to the one that we were nearby at the beginning of our podcast for the intro. It's a pretty cool sight to see right there. So then we get to 1973. First introduced at the London Motor Show, the 5-speed AC 3000 ME was a mid-engine sports car produced between 1979 and 1985. Had a GRP body around a platform chassis with a front and rear subframe.
And then 1973, also 1973, the Mark III Cobra is going to be one of the most copied cars in major industry. Newer models from the AC failed to achieve similar success. For Frua and Turan designs a new steel body for the Cobra chassis named the AC 428. Buys imported from Italy, AC builds 29 convertibles and 51 fastbacks. up to 1973, while production ceased by 1986. The Thames Denton factory was sold for redevelopment.
So then the 1999 AC Cobra Mark V CRS is launched at the London Motor Show. But then from 1999 to 2023, they made their body styles all the same, just reinvented. You see, in the year 2000s, they bring a 3.5 liter Lotus V8 twin turbo engine, and they put it in the Cobra. And so they just redesigned it to make it their own beautiful design of the Cobra, and they haven't stopped since. But then we get up to all the way to
2012.
Yep.
Where they partnered with Zagato to make a. Zagato is basically a coach builder and almost my style. And they were using a 6.2 liter, 437 brake horsepower engine. Doesn't say how many cylinders. Only of that.
But this car design was very beautiful, and they continued their research and to be engineered of all electric models based on the platform of the AC cars that they used components and technology available, ensuring that the brand's cars retain their personalities and performance. So very interesting right here. So then from 2017 through 2023, they just keep redesigning the AC Cobra. So then we get to 2023, the newest year, and it's the world's famous Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, just 25 miles from where the company was first established. The state-of-the-art Roadster wowed customers and assembled VIP as the all-new design was unveiled for the first time.
Which is basically electric version of Cobra.
Yes, it has modern touches to it, just to the feel, but it's the still same old Cobra that we known from where it first began. And so, as we see, we can kind of see though that AC, they were just always kind of the same company. It was really cool to see that we get to have modern designs, and from a car that was made in 1963, people are still wowed to this day from the look of them. And I believe that's all for us today. And thank you for watching. If you wanna keep us going for this podcast, we're gonna be going next week talking about Acura. And you have anything to add on to this?
Please comment if we got anything wrong, and make suggestions. We're open to anything.
Yes. Well, we'll see you next time on Gearheads. Thank you for watching.